Satep Abet. This is Ursa Maat Ra, Satep and Ra, Ramessu Meriamun. And I'm back with another video. Today's video, family, we are going to discuss about one of the ways that you can get into the Duat, and that is through dreams. Dreams, we always went through life wondering, why do we have dreams? I know that when I was younger, I used to always question this. Why do we have dreams? I never understood that until now. And, since I've been studying Shetaut and I've been involved in the wisdom teachings, I definitely have a better understanding of dreams. Now, when you dream, you enter the Duat every time you dream, which is the spirit realm. I want to make that clear. The Duat is the ancient Kemetic word for the spirit realm, the Duat. That is the netherworld. It is also called the astral plane. Another name for the Duat or the spirit realm is the astral plane. Okay? And it is also recognized as the body of God. So, now that I've came to a point in my life where I pretty much get this now, I pay a lot more attention to my dreams and the dreams of my children. If my children tell me, Dad, I had a dream, I would tell them, okay, tell me about the dream. And I have two 7-year-old sons. They are twins, identical. And they often tell me about their dreams. And some of their dreams are pretty interesting. I sit and I listen to them, and they go to some interesting places and they experience some interesting things. So the next time, if you have children, small children, or even if you have big children, it doesn't matter. I mean, small children, this is for the young, which I'm young, and this is for the older. If you have small children, big children, and you're on the path, ask your children if they have dreams, and ask them what their dreams consisted of, And you're gonna get some interesting experiences that they've had. So yes, now I recognize why the nameless one, the Great Spirit, has made it where we can have dreams. That is our connection to the spirit world, to the Duat. Like I said, whenever you dream, it could be dreaming when you're sleeping at night or resting at night, or it can be a daydream. When you daydream, you're also entering the Duat. Okay, I want to make that clear too. So when you rest at night and you dream, you enter the Duat. And when you daydream, you also enter the Duat. So with that, with knowing that, now you can begin to pay more attention to the dreams that you have. Because, like I said, when you have these dreams, you're going into different areas of the Duat. You may have a dream about being somewhere in a jacuzzi or being somewhere in a field of flowers, or just being somewhere like sitting on a lakeside on top of a log, and you were talking to your mother who's passed away, or your father who has passed away. You know, those type of dreams, when you have them, you are entering the spirit world. That's exactly what's happening to you. Or like for instance, me, when I was a young boy, I had this one interesting dream, and I would never forget this dream. You know, I actually cried to my mother. I had to be at least about 8, 9 years old, maybe. I could have been 7, but I know I was about 7, 8, or 9 years old, around those ages right there. And I had a dream that I was in a crystal clear lake. So clear, I could see my feet when I walk in it. And there was a swan. You know, those white birds with the long necks, they call them swans. There was a swan in the water. And I had to be about 7. In the dream, I was a child still. And I was standing in the water, and the swan was swimming around. And I was like, wow, that's a beautiful swan. But it wasn't like the swans on Earth, though. It was like even more like beautiful, more spectacular. But it looked like a swan, though. So, you know, I can't explain why it looked so much better than a regular swan. Well, I can explain it. It was the spirit world, of course. In the spirit world, everything is intensified 10 times, even good feelings, even good visuals. So this is like the most beautiful swan I've ever seen, like majestic. And it was swimming. But like I said, it still looked like a regular swan that you would see here in the physical realm. So it was swimming, and it came close to me, and I pet the swan, and I caressed the swan, and then I heard a voice. It was like an epic voice, and the voice said, "You can name it." And I said, boy, I looked up, and there was a light. It looked just like the sun, but way brighter. But it looked like the sun, though. It was just more beautiful. Like, I don't know, like the sun. Just imagine the sun, but like 10 times better looking. That's all I can say. That's the best way I can describe it at the moment. And when I seen it, the light, the sun, it was hovering. I couldn't make out a face in the light, but there was something in the light. It was in there, but I couldn't really make out exactly what it fully was. But there was some type of something in the light, but it looked like the sun. So it said, "You can name it." And I looked at it, and I looked at the swan, and I started to cry in the dream. And somehow the light, it wiped away my tears. I don't know. The light somehow just wiped away my tears, and I said, "I'm going to name the swan Ginger." That's what I remember. And then the light said, "That name is perfect." And then I woke up, And I was still crying. And I remember running all the way in the room to where my mother was. And I said, Mom, I had a dream about a perfect place, a pretty place. I don't know, heaven. Because my grandmother was really, really, really spiritual, into the whole Christian thing. She was really into that. And I would never forget that dream. Never. And my mother said, sounds like you went to heaven. You know, it was a very beautiful lake. You know, everything was just, man, you know, and I was a child. So, you know, now that I'm knowing what I know now, I get that I was having a spiritual moment. I was in the Duat, you know, I was in the spirit world. And every time you dream, like I said before, that's where you go. Whether it's a good dream, or whether it's a bad dream, whether it's a dream that doesn't make any sense and you don't understand the whole meaning of it or why it happened, you're always going to the Duat. We are connected to the spirit at all times. We are always connected to the spirit. We definitely are. And I've also had other experiences that involve my grandmother, but that'll be in another video. Right now, we're talking about the spirit realm, and one of the ways, there's 3 ways to get there. It's meditation, deep meditation, dreams, and death of the physical body. Those are the only 3 ways to get to the spirit realm that I know of. But right now we're talking about dreams and daydreams too. So if you're out there having dreams, if you're a person that has a lot of dreams, you know, pay attention to them. Sometimes I have dreams and I can't remember what the dream was, but if you can, try to write the dreams down and try to, you know, remember some of the places that you go while you're in the spirit world, while you're in the Duat, and, you know, leave it in the comments. Let me know some of the places that you have been, your experiences while you were in the spirit realm, because that is our connection. Dreams. That is why the great spirit, the nameless one, Neberdjer, the great God, the Most High, allows us to have dreams, because that's how we stay connected. But see, upon death of the physical body, there is no waking up from the dream state. You see? So you stay in the Duat. See how it works? You stay in the Duat. See, when the physical body is still alive, you got a safety net to come back to. You know what I mean? So once the physical body ceases to exist, there's no more safety net to come back to. So the soul stays in that state that you would otherwise wake up from if the physical body was still alive. And we call those states dreams. When you leave the physical body, you stay in the dreamless state. The subconscious and the unconscious. That's where you are. And this is according to the ancient Kemetic teachings. Yes, these are the things that our ancestors knew about and discussed. You got to remember, the ancient Egyptians were some of the most spiritual people on the planet. The Greeks talked about this in their many records. They talked about the Egyptians. They referred to them as the most spiritual or religious people on the planet. And you got to remember, ancient Egypt had over 3,000 years of peace. America has been around 248 years and has had countless wars. Countless. Ancient Kemet has had over 3,000 years, again, of recorded peace. America right now is on the brink of collapse. So hopefully everything goes well. This is the physical world. We don't know what could happen. Everything could do a complete turnaround, or everything could just go to full-on destruction. Egypt, ancient Egypt has had over 3,000 years of recorded peace. So you know that they had a very, very high society. They knew what they were doing. And this is something that we need to take note of, and we need to apply it into our lives through the wisdom teachings. So remember, family, when you dream, it's a reason why. You're going into the spirit world. You're going into the Duat. That's where you're going when you dream. That's exactly where you're going. Even when you daydream, when you were in school and you would daydream, just wander off, and you'd be daydreaming, seeing things in your daydream, because I've daydreamed before. And you got to snap out of it. You just snap out. You just came back from the spirit world. That's where you just came back from. So this is how we are connected. We will always be connected. It will never stop. Just try to pay more attention to your dreams and your children's dreams. And, maybe you can learn a little more about the spirit realm just based off the dreams that you have. But like I said, family, share your dreams with me in the comments. I want to know some of the places you guys have visited in the spirit world, some of the places you've experienced. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. This is Maat Ramessu Meriamun. Maat Tep, family.